Welcome to Going On Daily Live. I'm your host, Mike Palmer, and today we have a fantastic show. We're starting out with a little bit of technical difficulties. We apologize for the late start. We have a fantastic show lined up for you. Joining me, well, at the moment, it is Richard the Shark, our live roving reporter from the Trump rally this weekend. So we're thankful you made it back safe.
Mike, I'm not, how can I say it? I don't have the energy today, man. And this is why. I took my dad there for his 78th birthday. We went to Ponderosa first. Beautiful morning, Saturday morning. It's almost
Ponderosa? Is there still Ponderosa? I don't mean to interrupt, but there's still Ponderosas open in
Pennsylvania? There's 15 in the country and only 2 on the North Coast or Northeast Coast, and one's in Pennsylvania. So it was only 10 minutes away from the rally. So you got to go to Ponderosa, right?
Sure, right. Yeah, sorry. Back to your story. I'll try not to interrupt.
What was great is I got pictures I'll have to show you sometime because me and my brothers worked there in high school. So it's like it was like we went back in time. Nothing has changed. I mean, it was like $12 for the buffet, and it was awesome. Just the wings were the same. Right. The ice cream machine was still the same. It was like, oh my God. So it was great. So yeah, and then my dad, I don't like, at the end of the day, I love all politics. At the end of the day, you know what? I don't care what side you're on. Like we say, we never talk about it here. You know what? All I say is get out there and vote. That's it. And love each other. But, I'm going to tell you what, there was 15,000 people at this rally. My dad, he wanted to go, surprised him. So, it was fun. Took my mom, my brother, and his wife. And we just had a fun time of just chatting and fellowship. It was like almost like a Woodstock. Music. You know what? Really, people didn't even talk about politics, to be honest with you. There was plenty of bottled water for free. And to just realize that, you get there at we got there like 2:00. So we're sitting in a hot heat, Mike. It's 91 degrees. It took us about 2 hours to get in. They had metal detectors, everything. I mean, Secret Service everywhere, pat you down, everything. Getting in and you're just enjoying everybody to realize that maybe in another hour, this horrific event's going to occur. And Ron, do you have the video, buddy? We can talk about it, man. If he's going to pull it up or not, but this is just a little bit of live footage.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
I love this shot.
Yeah.
So professional looking.
Hey.
You shitting me? They're shooting. Oh my God. Get down. Get down.
Your mom is great.
I'm down.
And we're getting down. See this, Mike? I mean, look at this. I don't know where to go right now. What am I doing? Mom's in front of me.
What do you do?
What asshole shooting?
Is that your dad in the red shirt?
Yeah, my dad won't get down. He's just the American baby.
On the roof. Get him, boy. Get him.
They got him?
They get him? They carry Trump.
The snipers are on the roof right now shooting, so.
I don't know.
My God, you're leaning over.
And he's leaning over.
Oh, my God.
Former President Trump's leaning over, so we're like, he's got hit. What's going on?
No, they're covering him. They just covered him. They're protecting him. He's okay. He's okay.
Your mom.
No shit. Don't panic calmly. It was planned. Calm. You know how that shit goes.
Now we're in chaos mode. This is chaos that you don't see.
Right. Everybody's just trying to get out.
Yeah, I mean.
Get out of here.
Get him, boys.
They're shooting at him.
Go.
Hold on to me.
Listen to the end, though. It's kind of cool. We did this.
This is a bunch of bullshit. I knew it was going to happen.
Your mom.
USA! USA!
What happened? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
And if you just seen the other sides, so when we started chaos, all these cops came in and just start tearing the barricades down and said, "Get out!" So they didn't know if the shooter was still in the audience, and
right.
So we had no clue. I mean, the snipers ain't gonna. You can't communicate. Nobody was communicating together. I'm going to tell you what. It was a scary, eerie feeling. I'm going to tell you guys, and I'm going to take us back a little bit and do a little report on this. And like I said, this is not political at all. But at about 6:02, me and my dad, there's snipers on both sides. Yeah. And then, you see what you see is you see the other snipers looking and they got their guns and you're thinking, what's going on? So I'm going to tell you, as a person sitting there, a bunch of us thought unusual activities happening right now. You know what I mean? You could see like they're going down and it was just a scary thing. And then when it happened, so many people were in shock. Do you see my dad standing there? People didn't know what to do. They're just like, do I duck? Do I stand? What just happened? and it happened so quick, Mike and Becky, that, you can't even fathom this. This is something that I would never in my wildest dreams think of. And then when you hear the sirens and the shots go off and then on the ground, all you feel like is something going to pass by your head. And it's so scary.
Good morning, everyone.
Joining us now live from Canada is Becky Turner.
It's good.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had some major IT issues here, but I'm just catching the end of your story, and it's
I'm going to tell you what, it's going to take a while for everybody. It's that experience like that. And the thing I will say, the positive thing out of it all is it took us 4 hours to leave because they had to block it all off. I mean, it's a crime scene. So there was more police officers on the highway going back home, coming from, like, who knows, Maryland, DC. I mean, they were just flying everywhere, all unmarked, so, and the sirens on. But it just, thank God that, that not many people got hurt, but God bless the person that died, saving his family. That was, I don't know if you guys seen that.
Oh, yeah, the firefighter.
Yeah. I mean, to come there, that was his first rally to go to. And it doesn't matter who you select. He was so excited to be there, and he protected his family and took his own life. I mean, that's right. It happened. And, we got so many different stories that's going to come out of this. I mean, I think that the biggest thing about this, guys, is that we learn, Becky, in the United States, is that we have to just decide it at the ballot box. We can't call people dictators. And I think a lot of kids might start taking that in, calling people Hitler and different things. I think we need to start doing the hate stuff. Like, you're this bad person, and put you on some kind of like mean, like you're evil. Let's just say, this is my policy. This is my policy. And you vote for whoever you want. I think we have to go back to old ways. What do you think, Mike?
Isn't the I guess we'll say alleged shooter, isn't he younger, like in his 20s?
20 years old. Just graduated high school a year ago.
Right. So what you said about, the kids hearing stuff.
He was a loner and an Antifa and all kind of different things like that. And but I mean, maybe at 16 years old he heard all this stuff. You don't know. I mean, at the end of the day,
you don't know.
These kids are very influenced these days.
Well, you think, like, in 2016 when that presidential changeover happened, I mean, dude would have been 12 years old. So at a very impressionable time to start hearing what your teachers are saying and what your parents are saying and what your friends are saying. So for the last 8 years, he's probably heard how horrible the government is and this and that. So took it upon himself.
Yep. And it's the media too. I hate to say it, but the media's got to change too, because every day you get on and you watch the media, they're like, this person's bad. This person's bad. And, I will say one thing, I give credit to both parties, how they both really basically at the end of the day said, let's come together. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, President Biden, former President Trump, Biden spoke out and said, let's just all unite. I mean, he had a great speech last night. I think, to be honest with you, Mike, since we live here, and Becky, you're seeing it from afar, I think this is going to bring us together. I hope it brings us closer together. When we have tragedies like this, we hope it's, because it was getting out of hand. I don't know, Becky, if you've seen, but this election was like, in my lifetime, Mike, I've never seen anything like this. Have you? Like the election, how they were just going after each other, like with knives.
Yeah, this is something you don't normally see. I mean, there's always mudslinging and stuff in the elections, but not to this point.
And I think we went overboard, and now we're like, holy cow, this really happened, and
I don't think that we've ever lived in a time where you've been allowed to talk like this either. Like, people have a lot of freedom right now to say whatever they want on the internet, and social media blows it up, and people run with it. And people,
hey, Ron, I got to take this.
People who see stuff on the internet don't realize that there's two sides of every story. So, you can find pros and cons to any topic that you look up. So if you want to type in whatever, Republican Party or Democratic Party or whatever, you're going to find pros and cons to both. So people are forgetting that they need to do research on everything and not just one thing.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, Becky, we have to realize that, it doesn't matter who wins the election. We're all human. The human life has to be there no matter what. Policy and governments, that's a piece of paper and that's something actions. But the human life is us, Yeah. And I think they realize that now. There's so many people talking about, like, we're all human now. It's like, let's get back to because, being in Canada, you see how chaotic it was down here for the last 5 years. I mean, like, our government's just, everybody's just pointing a finger, yelling, cussing, and just saying bad things about each other. And then these kids, as you can see, they suck this all in, and then they get these big coalitions, and they just want to like, I don't know.
Even my kid's 11, and when she was really young, I remember her coming home from school and saying, "Oh, I hate whatever so-and-so president." And I'm like, "Why? How do you even know?" She's like, "Oh, I just do." The kid must have been 8 years old, probably.
Yeah.
7.
Because they heard it from the dad or mom.
And I said, "I'm sorry, is your school teaching you this?" And then I was mad because I thought, like, it doesn't matter what the teacher's political beliefs are. They don't need to be in school. Like, I think that's a reason why, or that is the reason why we don't talk about it normally on this show, because, we don't want to polarize anybody. At the end of the day, we're humans, and what we want to do is be loved and survive and do well in life. And it doesn't matter what your political beliefs are and what you do outside of here and what you do in your bedroom kind of thing. It's like,
and you know what's the scary thing about this is you have a 20-year-old, and not to say the age, but a 20-year-old pulled this off, that just graduated high school. How do you pull this off when there's security, snipers? I mean, we got a lot going on. I'm just going to tell you, there's so many different stories coming out there. Don't believe everything you see. I've seen it live, and I think I'm going to keep my mouth a little bit quiet on this, but there's a lot of different things that they'll be investigated, and then the truth will come out sooner or later, about this, and it sucks that just one person, had to die about this. And there's 2, I don't know if you know, but there's 2 more in critical condition. There's still,
I didn't know that.
Yes. So, and former President Trump, if he didn't turn, it would have hit him right in the neck or the temple. Yeah. Oh, we're talking, the God was on his side, millimeters from dying. Like he turned the last minute, and that bullet just, I don't know if you've seen a picture, it just grazed his ear.
Yeah.
He was smart to go down too. He was so smart to go down on the ground. Do you see how he went down on the ground? Because
no, I didn't.
That's what they're taught. As soon as you feel something hit you, and then you hear all this chaos, you go to the ground, because right in front of the podium, that's all bulletproof. And so that's why all the Secret Service pushes him down. Then they barricade him, because they're designed to take a bullet for him. Them 4 people that took him down, they are there to take the bullet for him. It's
interesting. That is so interesting. I'm going to read you something. And I mean, the conspiracy circles are wild right now, right? They're going crazy with all of this. And I mean, you're there firsthand, so you saw what happened. But there was a post that came out, and it says, "My name is Jonathan Willis. I'm the officer in the photo." Oh, he's here. Hello.
Everybody's here now.
Hey, look at this.
I had to jump in. I had to.
We're united, guys. We're united.
Look, when both of you, Becky and Rick, when you guys were talking about how we need to stop with all of that outside interference, because you get a lot of extreme left and extreme right, and those are the ones that are ruining it for everybody in the middle.
Right.
And it can't go on like that. I mean, not after stuff like this. I mean, you can't. It's got to be. People have to think of the human side.
Really? Yeah.
Yep, 100%. You know what? And you guys heard that at the end. I will say, I don't care what party you're in, but when you have 15,000 people running, and then when we got to safety, singing USA and hugging each other, that's like, it rings in my ear forever. It's like, is that real? We just had a crisis, and they're still saying we love America. That's pretty badass. I'm gonna lie. That was awesome.
All right, I just had to say that. That was great statements, and I had to just jump in on that. And it's just too bad we have to go through this.
Yeah, but we'll get stronger. And Becky, what were you continuing about your conspiracy, or what did you hear? I got to hear this.
Yeah. So this was a post saying, "My name is Jonathan Willis, and I'm the officer in the famous photo of the 2 snipers on the roof at Trump's rally. I came here to inform the public that I had the assassin in my sight for at least 3 minutes, but the head of the Secret Service refused to give the order to take out the perp. 100% the top brass prevented me from killing the assassin before he took shots at President Trump. I didn't follow the orders, though. As soon as the shooter opened on Trump, I returned fire despite strict orders to not engage. I had eyes on the shooter for 3 minutes, watching him fiddle with his rifle and adjust the scope. It was obvious he was a shooter, yet I wasn't allowed to engage. After I killed the shooter, I was arrested, questioned by the FBI, and just released an hour ago. Already lost my job for not following orders, but I'm glad I took the shots anyway."
You got to be kidding me. Okay, so Can I just step back? So at 6:02, I have a video that'll be out on the X later today. I'm going to put it out there because it's not, it's so true. At 6:02, my brother took pictures. This is when they were down. They had him in the site right then. The shooting didn't go to 6:11. So if you put this back in time, 6:02, Trump didn't come out till about 6. So I don't think Trump was even out on the stage yet. And they had activity going back and forth because the other snipers were just like this. They were looking around with their binoculars, but no activity. The other ones were going up and down. So if you had the person in the sights, you are taught. I'm going to tell you, because I did law enforcement stuff before like that. You need nobody. Get him off the stage right now. You know what I mean? You got somebody on a roof, a suspect, possibly, and you're not going to shoot. You're going to let them shoot first.
There's all sorts of stories coming out. There's one that somebody pointed the guy out before, to the local police. I mean, there was that happened. I heard it wasn't really even Secret Service that was there. It was a contracted Homeland Security group because they didn't have anybody to send or something. I mean, there's all sorts of things.
So here's the facts. I talked to the guy walking out. A couple of them, they did point. They said there was a guy on the roof. Nobody responded. The cops were like, "Where?" Like they didn't. Right. It was. I know that from what I heard was, and this is going to come out, that he did not get all the security he had requested. They gave him light. Like the government said that we gave you the maximum security. Somebody said he did. Right. So I don't know about you, but like knowing this, like if you see somebody on the roof and you have a political person or anybody, you get them to safety. You don't just wait till they shoot. I mean, that's reactive. You got to be proactive, right, Mike?
Like many politicians have to die over in history.
So here's my whole thing on this. The sniper lost his job because. So what was he not? That kid would have had rounds. He had an AK. He could have blasted half the people in the stands. You know that, right?
Was it an AK? I heard it was the other one that everybody hates. That they say is the AR. It was an AR-15.
Maybe the AR-15. But how many rounds can you do in AR-15?
Oh, I don't know what a magazine holds.
But I'm sure more than 3 bullets. I mean,
I'm sure. Well, didn't he get off like 8 shots or something?
I don't know. I think they said 3 to 4 because then the snipers came. I think the snipes had like 6. So I don't know. I mean, there's so many different, but you can hear the snipers out because they went boom, 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 boom. Like, so this is where, before we wrap things up, that it's sad. Like this guy probably saved a lot of lives and got arrested and lost his job.
Right.
And that's a sad part. And you know what? I'm glad he came out. I got to tell you guys, I'm glad he came out and told the truth and wasn't like, well, like he's not going to be the fall guy. He's up on that roof. His whole goal is to protect.
Right.
But when you have the higher up saying don't do it, now here we go. We go in. Why is the higher up saying don't do it? There's so much investigation, guys. This will go on for the next 3 months, probably.
Oh, forever. It'll go on forever.
Because there's going to be everybody. It's getting crazy, and but at the end of the day, all we can say is former president's safe. We lost one person. God bless that person. Let's pray for that person. And then the 2, hopefully the critical condition, they get out of it. So if we can do that, we saved a lot of probably lives, and then the trauma will sit in. But at the end of the day, let's just unite and correct this. I mean, we got to correct these going to concerts and stuff like this and people shooting at us. I mean, how do you stop this,
Right. There's not any way. There's always going to be somebody.
Yep. And these guns, I don't know real quick, but you heard how he got the gun, right? It was off his dad.
It was his father's, right?
So is his dad in trouble now?
I think, but a letter of the law, I think, yes, he is.
If it wasn't
maybe since the kid was 20, he's not. But if he was
it wasn't locked up properly, though, right? Like if it's not in a locked gun case or in a gun container or something.
I think that varies by state and age of the person.
Yeah, the kid was 20, and he took the gun probably from his dad without,
without permission.
Say, just go take it. Yeah, so he just took it, and he had explosives in his vehicle too. Did you see that in the van?
No, I didn't see that.
In the van and his house, they raided his house and stuff like that. So
I heard they were going to raid his house, but I didn't hear what they found.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Well, that's all I have to say, guys. It's going to take me a while to get back to things, but hopefully tomorrow, Mike, I'm in a better mood and chipper and ready to rock and roll, guys.
We're glad you made it back safe. Tell your mother she can report for us anytime.
Hey, we might have to bring her on the show sometime. All of us. He's a spark plug,
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good show, man.
All right, we'll see you later, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Bye.
Wow. That's wild.
Something, huh? Well, we didn't say it beforehand, but you can follow us on Facebook at RI Broadcasting. You can follow us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. And now Becky is with us.
Becky is here. And you know what I just realized? I'm not even plugged in. I have my headphones on. I have my microphone on. It's
like,
plugged
I
in.
noticed your microphone wasn't plugged in, but not
I'm
your.
telling you, I had some serious technical issues today, and it's just thrown me off my game. I'm doing it. It's happening here. So if it sounds really tinny.
I had to pop off. I've got a broken air conditioner in my house, and that was the air conditioner repairman. But right before he called, I got a message from Duke Energy, which is the power company here, and they have a power outage in my area. So the guy can't come fix my air conditioner because I've got no power now.
Oh, gosh.
It just keeps getting worse.
You cannot have no air conditioning in
it went out Saturday night. So we did Saturday night and all day yesterday and last night with no air.
That sounds terrible.
It was 93 yesterday.
Yeah. So what have you been doing? Living in your basement? No, you probably don't have.
We don't have basements. No. My wife slept in the bedroom, and I slept out on the couch just to split the dogs and stuff out. What?
What bedroom did she sleep in?
The regular bedroom.
With the little girl. Bedroom. The little girl bedroom.
No. She slept in the master bedroom. The regular. Oh no, not the haunted one. Nobody sleeps.
Okay, good.
Nobody sleeps down there. No.
Oh, good. Sorry, I'm coming. I just have
That's all right. I'll go ahead and start the story. A woman rescued 50 miles from the Japanese beach 37 hours after she went swimming in a rubber ring. The woman was in her 20s and was reportedly saved by 2 crew members from a passing tanker who jumped into the sea to save her.
Oh, my gosh.
A woman in her 20s has been rescued 37 hours after drifting out to sea on Monday, July 8th, around 7:30 p.m. local time. The woman, who had only been identified as a Chinese national, went into the Pacific Ocean with a friend at Shirimaha Omaha Beach in Shimoda, Shizuki Prefecture, per the Japanese Times. According to the Associated Press, the Coast Guard launched a search for the woman shortly afterwards when her friend reported her missing. And then around 7:55 p.m. On July 8th, when they received the information after the woman's friend reported to a nearby convenience store that she was missing, local Japan Coast Guard officials said 36 hours later, she was found 50 miles off the coast, floating in that same
36 hours?
36 hours. She's floating in that little rubber ring.
At least she had the rubber ring.
Well, if she didn't have that, she might not have floated away.
Mm-hmm. Is that like...
So, yeah, probably very similar to
that. That's not mine, for the record.
Becky with the visual aids right there to hand.
That's a butt ring. You sit on that.
It might have been a little bit bigger than me.
But that would save my life in the ocean.
36 hours, that would save your life in the ocean.
Yeah. I just can't even imagine being in salt water for that long. Like what it would do to your skin.
There's something where your skin starts coming loose when you're in the salt water for so long.
Yeah. I watched a video once of a guy who got rid of a tattoo with salt. And it took him a long time, but every day he would take salt and he would rub it on the tattoo, and eventually it burned the tattoo off. So,
and then like abrasive, like sandpapery.
Well, that too,
right? Yeah.
But also the chemical reaction of the salt and the skin just
completely the salinity of the salt.
Yeah. So I mean to be in the ocean for X amount of time. I mean, and Ron just said until the sharks come. Exactly.
Right. It is. Yeah. But luckily, it was the end of Shark Week, so it's a bad time. Sharks are very, very hungry during Shark Week.
Well, they're really full of themselves after being broadcast for a full week, you know?
Right.
They're real
Next year there'll be a dramatization of this woman floating around with sharks coming after her on Shark Week.
Like you probably wouldn't even be thinking about sharks at that point, but like
you had to see them 36 hours. You had to have seen something's got a nibble on your leg or something.
Oh my gosh. Like what would you do if you see a fin coming? Do you just be perfectly still so they don't see you flapping around like a seal?
Well,
or
is she, I guess the question is going to be then, is she sitting in the ring where just her butt's in the water? Or is she horizontal or vertical, whatever this is, and her legs are dangling? Mm-hmm. I would be more comfortable with just my butt.
But you're not going to be moving great. If you're vertical, you can at least paddle and kick and get somewhere, although really like you don't know which way is which. Next thing you know, you end up in Hawaii.
She had to get caught in a riptide or something and just taken away.
That's awful. I can't imagine.
She didn't know the rules. There's rules with riptides here in Florida.
But yeah, like don't go in the ocean when there's one.
Well, that's the main one. But you swim parallel to the shore until you feel it not pulling you, and then you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
So she must not have known. being Chinese off the coast of Japan.
Right. Yeah. If she was a visitor, and especially if she was from, well, in China, they're not on the ocean, are they?
Not most of the country. Yeah, she could have been from the internal, like they're on holiday or something. They call it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, for someone like me who lives in a landlocked province, I don't know the first thing about the ocean. Right. So if I'm traveling down
you guys
Florida,
don't have much ocean access at all, do you? Just off either side, just off the
ends. But there's a lot. Canada's very large, so
but it's cold though. It's cold. You guys don't do a lot of beaching.
On the Pacific side, it's very well, and this is, I think, the same for anywhere down the Pacific side, but it's very choppy, a lot of waves.
Right. A lot of waves, a lot of rocks.
Yeah, gorgeous, but yeah. I'd rather be somewhere calm and tropical, like a little inlet, like a little lagoon.
Right. Sounds much nicer.
Yeah, no.
All right, Beastie Boy, we're trying to pick up a little time here. Beastie Boys are suing Chili's for some reason. Did something happen? I'm not familiar with this story at all.
Yeah, so Beastie Boys are suing the parent company of Chili's. That's a place called Brinker International. And what happened basically is this Brinker International created an ad for Chili's back in 2022 for their social media platforms. To be honest, I didn't even know that Chili's still existed. They all shut down here.
Oh, yeah, we still have them here.
Oh, they're delicious. But what they did is they basically ripped off pieces of their hit song Sabotage without permission. Yeah, so this was a federal case, and it was filed just this past Wednesday in New York, and they alleged that Brinker International created the ad that ripped off the song's music video, not even necessarily the song.
Just scenes from the video?
Yeah, and I couldn't find, so maybe you can if you look, you know how our internet is censored up here, but I couldn't find.
Wait, is the internet really censored up there?
Yeah.
Seriously? Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
For Canadian news, yeah, it's harder. I can find American news a little bit better, but I don't really trust anything I see on the internet anymore. But yeah, Ron says Beastie Boys successfully sued Monster for 1.7. Yes, they did. They won $1.7 million back in 2014 because of a copyright violation case against Monster Energy when they once again used their song without permission. So you think Chili's would have done their research before ripping off anything and saw, they actually...
you would think these guys sue people.
They sue people for this, yeah. So their music video, pardon me, and won. Yeah. The music video for Sabotage came out in 1994, where the guys were wearing fake wigs, fake mustaches, and sunglasses, and they were doing a parody of a 1970s crime show. I've never seen it myself, but
not me either.
I can picture what that looks like.
Sure.
And so they, in this ad that came out, they did use a couple little parts of the song, I guess, but they had 3 people wearing 70s style disguises stealing ingredients from a Chili's. So to me, that seems a bit
a little vague, yeah.
Because I'm also picturing Blink-182. They had a music video where they're all dressed up in wigs and mustaches as well, and that would have come out after 94.
Great, now they're going to sue them too.
Yeah, maybe they just need some money, I guess.
Because they're obviously fans of our show. They're probably watching.
Oh, I would think so.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That.
So the members of Beastie Boys are Adam Horovitz and Michael Diamond. They're still alive. But Adam, I want to say his last name is Yauch. He died back in 2012 of cancer. But in his will, he specifically outlines
Chili's
and Monster. That's
in the case of Chili's and Monster, steal our songs.
No, he specifically bars the use of his music in advertisements. It was very specific in his will, which I find so interesting. So it's not like this is a brand new thing. I mean, obviously, after the Monster lawsuit, it became more common knowledge. There's no reason why their lawyers couldn't have.
Yeah, somebody could check this, right?
Yeah. So what they are after is they're seeking $150,000 in monetary damages for each copyright violation, plus attorney fees and 3 times the profits brought in by Chili's. But I think that one would be a hard one to calculate, because how do you know what your online presence brought in?
Three times the profit from what they got for the song, or just the company?
No, what they brought in by Chili's from running those ads.
Yeah, that'd be hard to determine.
And is it worth 3 times more? Do we actually think that the Beastie Boys music video brought customers to Chili's?
Well, I mean, the 150,000. Okay, write them a check. That's not a big money.
Yeah,
just
no.
Right there, get that over. But the 3 times we think we made $75. So here, guys, here's
$225 each, and
and you're done. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
And would you like to write us maybe?
Would you what, sorry?
Would you like to write us a song maybe that we can use? Beastie
Yeah,
Boys?
no, I guess not. They're purists, and I appreciate that, but I don't know. When I was writing this, I just thought
Beastie Boys are considered purist.
I don't know,
because they won't sell out to the man.
I guess so.
It's the Beastie Boys, for God's sakes.
Nobody
knows who they are right now.
Not anymore. No, if you were to ask my kids who the Beastie Boys were, they would have no idea.
Right. Yeah, they would have no idea.
I don't know. I just thought it seemed a little bit extreme. Granted, I'm not an artist and I don't have my material ripped off from anybody. So I could see why that would be very frustrating. And, but I don't know. I just thought, it's a Chili's ad. I mean, who's going to Chili's?
Oh, Ron apparently did some research. There's a way of telling because you can see what they sold of the advertised item. So I guess like if they showed a specific food item in the video, then you would see how many of those they sold.
But let's say it was their sizzling, what is it? Their burrito. No, their fajitas. You know, the one that comes out sizzling.
The fajitas.
So let's say they had that in the ad.
Okay.
But like people were buying fajitas from there forever. So,
but you do it from when the commercial started, though. Probably is the way they would.
If there was an increase, does advertisement actually work like that? Like you see it and you're like, I must have this. Let's go to Chili's right now.
Sure,
like
when you're up late at night and you're hungry and you're just flipping channels.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, I want a fajita from Chili's because.
But it's not like you can Uber Eats a fajita from Chili's especially if you're on in the middle of the night. You have to like get ready the next day and find a Chili's and drive there. It's different than McDonald's.
Now I want to go to Chili's just because we're talking about it.
Well, I wish we had one still.
We will Uber Eats you some Chili's.
I want that sizzling plate. I want to make a spectacle in the restaurant. I want everyone to look at me while I'm doing it.
Oh, the fajita plate coming out to the table?
I remember being a kid and being like, what is that? And my mom would always get the fajitas. And we're like, oh, Mom.
My wife used to, and we used to go all the time. She'd always get those.
Yeah, I don't know why they shut down here. I went to it once in 2017 when I was meeting my in-laws, actually. And then they all shut down right after that. So they haven't been here for quite a while now.
Wow. My son used to be a bartender at Chili's, my oldest son.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
We used to get discounts.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's nice. All right. A stripper in Florida is suing the state of Florida. Stripper sues Florida over new age restriction for workers at adult entertainment businesses.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
They just changed the law that you have to be 21 to be a stripper in the state of Florida.
You didn't before?
No, only 18. 18.
That's wild.
So now a 19-year-old and the club where she worked, both are, as a stripper, have sued Florida's attorney general and 2 local prosecutors to stop enforcement of a new state law prohibiting adult entertainment businesses from employing people who are under 21, claiming it violates their constitutional rights to stripping.
Yeah, I guess.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's covered under that.
I suppose. Ron says it infringes the right for an adult to work. Yes, I understand that. But if it's an adult in the States, like, why can't she vote or drink? Or
she can vote. She can vote. At 18, you can vote.
You just can't
drink at 18 any longer. It's 21 in, I think, all the states now. It's 21. And you can't buy, federally, you can't buy tobacco products under the age of 21 either. But you can join the military and shoot people at 18.
And you can vote for
political leaders. No alcohol and no tobacco.
Okay. All right.
Serenity Michelle Bushy, I'm probably sure her first name is really not Serenity, claims in a lawsuit that she lost her job at Cafe Risque in the Gainesville area after that's the one that's right off the highway, and they serve food like a Waffle House. I've seen that. I didn't realize it was that place. After the law took effect on Monday, since she's younger than 21, the purpose of the law was to deter human trafficking, according to Florida lawmakers. Lawsuit was filed Monday in federal court in Tallahassee on behalf of Bushy, the owner of Cafe Risque and 2 adult businesses in Jacksonville. It seeks a permanent injunction stopping the law from being enforced, claiming it violates their First Amendment right to free speech and 14th Amendment to right to equal protection under the law. I don't get that one either. Besides Bushy, 8 other adult performers who are older than 18 but younger than 21 are unable to work at Cafe Risque because of the new law, the lawsuit said. As with similar performers around the state, Bushy earned her living through her art.
Your art, okay.
While providing entertainment for the benefit and enjoyment of her audience, the lawsuit said. Plaintiffs have a clear legal right to engage in protected speech of this nature. That protected speech thing people drag out all the time. I don't think it covers stripping. I don't think that was the plan of our founding fathers.
No, it wasn't, I'm sure.
You know what? Put in their free speech. We need the girls to be able to show their boobs. Take off their clothes.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I can see why it is freedom of speech. Like, I can say and do whatever I want with my body. But
well, you can. Just people aren't going to pay you. They're not stopping her from doing it. They're stopping her from getting paid to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, she can stand out in her front yard and put a little stage up in a pole if she wants to, I guess.
I mean, I don't personally disagree with it. I mean,
the law.
At 18, I mean, where was my head at 18? Certainly not making good choices, not making like sound decisions.
I don't know if they do this in Canada, but they'll do like your grandfathered in when they make a new law. So like if you're already doing, so they should have just grandfathered. If you're already 18 and you're stripping somewhere, you're grandfathered in.
Mm-hmm.
But new 18-year-old strippers. Because if they're already stripping, they're past the human trafficking thing, I guess. I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. That's terrible.
Maybe she can find something else to do for 2 years, and then she can start up her career again.
Well, I mean, I was thinking she could probably be a waitress or like a server at the strip club. I had a friend who was always a server at strip clubs, never stripped though, but she made great money.
Yeah. Did she get a percentage of the stripper money?
No, but she got a lot of tips from the fellows here to watch the shows.
OnlyFans, Ron says. I didn't think about that.
I suppose, yeah, OnlyFans.
Right. Is that allowed in Canada, or is that blocked on the internet up there too?
No, they're definitely allowed. Canadian, but anyway, well, I won't go into politics, but yes, we love to.
Wait, Ron, are we allowed to do Canadian politics? Is that a thing?
See what he says. He'll say no.
He'll say no. He might not care.
No.
No Canadian politics either.
But it's more just like a history lesson than it is a political debate. I'm just teaching you guys about
about
what
Canadian.
goes on.
Certainly.
Okay. Then.
He says okay. Okay
then. Another day. I like history. Okay.
Oh, he likes history.
And if it's something that happened yesterday in the government of Canada, that is historical because it was not today.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Technically, that was yesterday too.
Yeah. We have an election coming up soon, so it'll be good.
Cafe Risque place is right off the highway. You can see it if you go up and down through Florida because Gainesville is lower top, so everybody has to pass this. And there used to be 2 of them because we have 2 major highways, 95 and 75, that run down either side of the state. And there used to be one on either side, and it is the seediest looking strip club. Yeah, you could think of.
I don't know a lot of people in Florida, but the people I do know, their last name is also Bushy. So like, I wonder.
Nice. Maybe they're related.
I'm going to message my mom. It's people that she grew up with in Canada who moved down to Florida.
Oh,
and I'm going to find out.
They have a daughter named Serenity.
Probably a granddaughter at this point. Yeah.
Very, very stripper name-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Serenity's her real name, I'm guessing.
No. It's probably Michelle. Serenity Michelle Bushy. So Serenity's probably her stage name.
Right. So I have a daughter named Eden. And as soon as I named her, people were like, oh, like the stripper? Okay. And then she was probably...
And she's an excellent dancer too. So, you know.
Great dancer. Right. Dancing for money. Yeah, we were driving past in Edmonton where I live, and there used to be a strip club called Eden. This is why people thought that. And it had a huge sign that said Eden on the side of the road. And we drove past it, and she had to have been, I don't know, 9, 10 maybe. And she's like, look, my name, Eden. I'm like, yep. She's like, why is that place called Eden? What is it? And my husband and I were like, So I told her, I'm like, well, ladies take off their money they'll take off their clothes for money. And why did you name me that? Well, I didn't name you after this place.
There's another Eden in the Bible. It's a better place.
Yeah, exactly. That's more what I was thinking.
It was still full of naked people, but it was different. They were good naked people.
Right.
All right. So you and I touched on this last week. This mouth taping now apparently is a thing.
Yeah. We didn't get to it last week with Rick and I. So I'm glad that you and I are back on this topic. So mouth taping is exactly what you think it is. It's where you're putting tape over your mouth. Now you're not like duct taping it so you can't.
I pictured. I was talking to Ron this morning when he was making the graphic. Situation. I pictured like a piece of cross.
Mm-mm.
This lady in the photo in the graphics got some type of H thing.
Yeah, it's like more like that. And so you can breathe through it. It's just stopping you. Like if I fall asleep, like sitting up, for example, or like on the plane, I wake up and my mouth is like this wide. So
that's my biggest fear, snoring on a plane.
Yeah, well, at least it's loud. Like you can't really hear. I'm always like this, like full double chin, like mouth wide open. My husband takes pictures every time. It's awful.
Drooling out the side.
Yeah. So I mean, you're laying down, so the gravity is obviously different, but I definitely sleep with my mouth open. So what this does is it holds your mouth shut. So now research is showing that individuals who habitually breathe through their mouth are more likely to have sleep deprivation issues, ADHD symptoms. It affects the brain function, your facial growth, your dental health, dry mouth, bad breath, like I said, sleeping problems, reduced energy, speech impediments, teeth misalignment, and other dental issues, and snoring. So a ton of things from mouth breathing. And I don't know if you've ever seen a person that looks like their chin is really pushed back in. It almost makes it so like this.
Right. So like there's no chin. It just disappears.
Yeah, that's right. Like, no chin right into their neck. That's probably.
Can you do that one more time with the?
No, I cannot at all. That's like, there we go.
There you go.
That's probably a mouth breather.
Ah.
And so
that's what causes that look?
Well, I think there's probably a lot of reasons, obviously, like, your bones didn't form properly in utero and maybe an injury or whatever. But I think a lot of it does have to do with that. It recedes your jaw into your mouth. So they say that you can tape and it should eventually start to correct that. So it causes what they call central fatigue. So I'm guessing your central nervous system is fatigued when you're breathing through your mouth all the time. I know that my husband can't breathe through his nose just because of polyps up there. And he's never breathing through his mouth. And I like when I get sick and I have to breathe through my mouth, I hate it. I hate everyone. I hate how it feels. I'm angry.
Right. Yeah, me too. When your sinuses are all closed up.
Yeah. So this is his life all the time. And then I'm thinking like, he actually doesn't sleep really well, and his teeth aren't the best, but like mostly the reduced energy and stuff, and it's probably because he's forever breathing through his mouth. He has a beard, so I can't tell if there's
I've had my beard so long, when the random time it does get shaved, the chin's gone. It looks like I have no chin.
Yeah, right. Well, you might be a mouth breather.
Well, when I wake up, my mouth is very dry all the time. I keep water right next to the bed.
So when you are breathing through your nose, when you're breathing through your nose, you have an increase of oxygen load in the prefrontal cortex of the brain. This is the part of the brain that's responsible for personality, expression, decision-making, and social behavior. So when you're breathing through your mouth, you're not oxygenating nearly the same way. So really your mental function is not the same as it could be.
That's weird.
I know.
It connects to the same tube back here somewhere.
I don't know, but you can feel that it's not the same. Like breathing through your mouth sucks.
It's uncomfortable, but I feel like I'm still getting oxygen though.
I mean, obviously you're still getting oxygen, but it's just
not as good. Maybe. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So when you're taping your mouth, you're going to use a skin-safe tape, and it forces you to breathe through your nose. The benefits of it are lower blood pressure, filters allergens, moisturizes your throat, or it doesn't dry out your throat. and a decrease in anxiety.
Huh.
I know. It's so interesting. It says, obviously, you don't want to use it if you have something like a CPAP machine or,
right. And you can't.
Your sleep apnea where you're known to stop breathing in the night.
Right. Choke yourself awake.
Yeah. Like it says, definitely see a doctor if, you want to do it. And then it says, see a doctor if after a few nights mouth taping makes you feel better, as it's sort of letting you know that there's an underlying condition there. Obviously, like mouth taping isn't supposed to be a cure-all for everything.
Oh, it's not. It's not a fix.
I mean, depends who you talk to, right? I follow a lot of people on social media that are big advocates of mouth taping, and they do it every night and they swear by it. But the couple of the things that I read said, see your doctor, as it's like a diagnostic tool for you. Like if you're feeling genuinely better after a few nights of doing that, then there probably is something going on, and you should at least have it looked into.
Wouldn't you just keep taping? I mean, this is great. I feel wonderful. I'm just going to keep doing it. Not go to the doctor and he tells me to stop doing it.
Yeah, right. I feel the same way as you. I think that there's a lot of things in, more of the holistic community, right, or the do it from home kind of community that your doctor, right, isn't going to align with. I definitely learned this throughout the cancer journey. Sure. That things that I was doing at home are not even just not agreed upon, but like frowned upon by my doctors, my oncology team. But I did them anyway because, I knew that
made you feel better.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess play this one with caution and decide what's right for you. If you are a person who wakes up with the following, right? The reduced energy, the dry throat, if your chin is receded, I think you should definitely look into it. And it says, for God's sakes, do not use medical tape or non-medical tape.
Right.
Yeah. Anything that's not meant specifically.
Yeah, it rips my mustache and my beard off every time I.
Yeah, this tape is not overly sticky. It's almost like gauze tape, I would say. Although gauze tape, if left on for a long time, is very sticky. But
right,
I think it's thinner than gauze tape. I've actually seen some it's like mesh tape, so you can still breathe through it. If you put it on, you can right through it, but it's holding your motion.
It just discourages you to use the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hey, as long as we're talking about health tips, we have a couple of minutes here. What are these kidney milkshakes and stuff you drink? What do those do for you?
Kidney milkshakes? What are you talking about?
Bone broth or something. It looks like it's in a little ice cream container.
Bone broth. Do you not drink bone broth?
No, I don't drink bone broth.
Okay, so the bones of an animal that are well taken care of, and I say that I mean like probably non-vaccinated, hormone-free. They were free-range, grass-fed, grass-finished, organic, basically.
So just regular broth. I mean, they make that from bones too, right? I mean,
yeah, they do. So when they put it in an industrial cooker here, and they cook all the collagen out of it for hours, like sometimes days, like 48 hours, 72 hours. And so you're getting all the collagen out of it. So when you drink bone broth, it's really healing on your guts, and it's very helpful for getting protein, but being able to digest it. So, I mean,
it's a liquid.
It just tastes like soup, but it's like, it goes both ways. Cause like you need to be able to digest stuff, right? Like you need hearty food so that your body works. If you're constantly just juicing as well, which I do, if you're just juicing or doing bone broth, like your body doesn't have anything that it needs to break down, and it's going to become sluggish. So I think it's more like you can drink it, but like I also eat food as well.
Like regular food too, right?
Bone broth. Yeah, you need that.
So in that little container, is it a liquid like if you buy chicken broth or beef stock at the store, or is it something you scoop out and have to?
I have both. So the one that I have is a local to Edmonton company, and they prepare it. It's liquid form, and they freeze it. So this thing, I have one that's been sitting in my fridge for 2 days, still rock hard. I have to leave it out on my counter or something because it is frozen solid. But that container, I drink maybe a half a mug full, and it'll last me about 4 days.
Oh, just not like it's not like drinking a cup of coffee. You only drink some.
Yeah, like I just don't want to drink an entire thing of it, like because it is, I don't know, like on its own, it's kind of boring, right? It's a little salty. There's no chunks in it like soup. It's just broth.
It's kind of opaque. It's not clear like regular broth.
No, it's pretty high in like the healthy fats.
Right.
So it's not, yeah, it's not like something you would get from the store by any means.
I'm fascinated by all this, but when they make it, does the bone break down, or is it just like, okay, so it does. So it's not like when you make, like your grandmother makes beef stock. She throws, the beef bones in the pot with the fat and the meat still stuck to it, and all that burns off and dissolves, and then she just takes the bone out and chucks it.
I mean,
throws it to the dog.
Yeah, like it's the same concept. Like we're not eating the bone. Like it does break down.
That's what I mean. Does the bone break
down?
Yeah, it doesn't. That's what the color looks like. It's like bone.
Right. No. Sorry. I thought you meant like does it break apart and then you get all the good stuff out of the inside? No, it's not like that. I think it would have to be in there for like more than a couple days.
Right.
But yeah, it does. It's basically what your grandma would do.
Same idea.
But it's very healing for the guts. And, if you're having a hard time digesting, which a lot of people do have a hard time digesting meat, probably because of how bad we are to our diets and to our bodies. Right. So it's a nice way of getting your protein and your collagen in, your healthy fats without needing to digest. So even like, there's a lot of vegans out there, but a lot of them have health issues because they're not getting the proper
nutrition. They don't get the protein and stuff.
I think even just a bit of bone broth, like don't think about where it came from, but
right. Yeah. Well, that sort of defeats their whole thing, Still it's meat juice.
Meat juice. Exactly. Meat like that animal had to die and then boil its bones for
bone the
3 days. Yeah.
Yeah. The idea of that to them, I'm sure, would just be terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, moving on. We have some celebrity deaths here that and they always seem to happen in threes. Celebrities. I don't know why, but they do. So here recently we've had Dr. Ruth Westheimer, the sex guru. The Dr. Ruth. She died at 96. Do you guys know who she is in Canada?
We do.
All right. She was the frank and funny, the taboo-breaking psychologist, said things on television, radio that would have been shocking coming from almost anyone else. Dr. Ruth died at her home in New York City. Was at her home in New York City in 2023. Her radio show on which she discussed sex and relationships made a national media celebrity and a one-woman business conglomerate.
How old did you say she was? 96?
She died at 96 of natural causes this past weekend.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Like, not that's great that she died, but natural causes is great.
Natural causes, right. Also Richard Simmons.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, Richard Simmons, who's known for sweating to the oldies workout videos. He celebrated his 76th birthday this past Friday. Simmons' longtime rep Tom Estee confirmed his death to Fox News Digital on Saturday. So he died right after his birthday. An LAFD spokesperson told Fox News Digital that the first responders were dispatched for a cardiac arrest of a 76-year-old man in Simmons' Los Angeles home without identifying Simmons as a patient. The patient was pronounced dead at the scene of natural causes.
The irony of someone who was so committed to helping people work out and be healthy would die of a heart attack.
Right.
That's mind-blowing. But I mean, I haven't seen anything that he's done recently, so maybe he
let himself go, maybe.
I mean, he's 76. Like, dude probably just wanted to chill out and
just rest,
eat some snacks.
Maybe put on some decent pants, not those little shorts he had to wear all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that about him.
And then finally, the last one to round out the third for the weekend, Shannon Doherty, star of Beverly Hills 90210 and Charmed. She died at 53.
I heard that. Of breast cancer.
Breast cancer, yeah. She had a very long battle with breast cancer.
9 years or something.
Yeah, she finally succumbed to it.
I can't imagine dealing with this for 9 years. Like, mine has been the last year of my life, and it was exhausting. So 9 years to deal with.
I'm sure she's had some good and bad times.
I'm sure that it probably was in remission and then came back.
It goes in, I was going to say recession, but you're right, remission. Go in remission for a while, and then it comes back.
Awful. Absolutely awful. But why do you think that is, that they die in threes?
I don't know. It's always been a thing. I've always heard that. And actually, we've had two others. A sports guy, Ron told me, died, and Shelley Duvall died last week. So we might have one more. Might have one more coming.
And a kid from the boy from Elf. I saw that he died.
Oh, well, I think that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Well, I thought it was last week as well. I saw it the same time that I saw.
Oh, well, then there's our 6. We're all safe again for the, unforeseeable.
Ooh.
Well, not that we're celebrities, but Ron says last week, so yeah, right.
Yeah, interesting. This is morbid, but I think it's human nature to be very fascinated by, the list of people who've died or celebrities.
Oh, sure.
You want to know why. So anytime I'm on, like, let's say MSN.com or whatever, that's just comes up automatically when I open a new browser and I see, X amount of people have died, and I click on it and then I'm reading it and it's like,
right. You kind of want to know why and what happened.
Yeah. When it's an older person, you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. But when it's a young person, you're like, I have to know more.
Here locally, a guy that owns another cigar shop died last week of a massive heart attack, and he was my age.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That puts it into perspective, hey?
It does, doesn't it? It does.
Mm-hmm. It does. Oh, well, that's so awful. And you said that he owns another. You own a cigar shop?
I'm part of a cigar shop here. I'm actually underneath it at the moment. The studio I'm in is under the cigar shop.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that background. It's better than this.
It's just a white
like the plastic tile Great. That's awesome.
Right. All right. I guess that brings us to a close. Yeah. Tomorrow it'll be me and Rick the Shark talking about, I'm sure, all sorts tomorrow. Did you say when?
I'm having such a hard time remembering what day it is.
Oh, today's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I think normally you and I are on together on Tuesdays.
Yeah, on Tuesdays. Yeah, I think that's why I'm a little thrown off here. So I guess I'll probably be on Thursday.
Yeah, you'll probably be back on Thursday with either Rick or Ron.
Right.
We appreciate everybody listening. I believe Ken was on again today.
Yes, Kenny.
Hello, Kenny. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Chris Scott 9 is trying to sell us some artwork from his Twitch
or something.
Twitch feeder or something. All right, but this has been Going On Daily Live. I'm Mike Palmer, and that is the lovely Becky from Canada, our favorite Canadian. We'll be back on tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone.